Don't lie to me. Don't be shy. I just wanna talk to you.
I understand we're going to be talking about myths. Myths from Britain.
First name.
My name is John.
Surname.
Is King.
Favorite dish.
If I'm in England, I'm very traditional and I like fish and chips. I like going to a fish and chip shop where they put your fish and your chips in a bag. You put your salt and your vinegar, you call it уксус, we call it vinegar, and you walk along the street eating it out of a paper bag. In Ukraine, my favorite dish would be soup frikadika.
I just wanna talk to you.
Джона, какой самый популярный британский миф?
The most popular myth must be the Loch Ness Monster. Every child in Britain knows about the Loch Ness Monster. Certainly, it's well known around the world. America made, several movies about the Loch Ness Monster. And as per usual, never let the facts get in the way of a good movie.
Лохнесское чудовище – неизвестное науке животное, якобы обитающее в шотландском озере Лох-Несс. Британская букмекерская контора William Hill пообещала $1 миллион фунтов стерлингов любому, кто сможет предоставить доказательства существования Несси, которые удовлетворят экспертов Лондонского музея естественной истории.
Loch Ness I have visited. The myth has created a tourist industry. And probably the myth has grown, been added to, exaggerated, pretty much to encourage the tourist industry. I am sure once, a long time ago, someone saw something they could not explain. My friends north of the border in Scotland do enjoy a good drink. Scotch whisky can be very enlightening to the mind if you have a few of them. And I'm sure there's been one or two people that have seen many mysterious things after drinking some Scotch whisky. And the myth, the story has grown and grown and grown. Nothing wrong with that.
Британцы отдают своих детей только в частные школы.
I don't know where you came up with that one. It is totally untrue. Very few children go to private school. It's going back to the class system that we talked about once before. Perhaps only 10% of children go to private school.
Большинство обеспеченных британцев отдают своих детей в public school, то есть в закрытую школу-интернат, считая, что чем дальше дети от дома, тем они лучше развиваются. Условия проживания спартанские, дисциплина строжайшая, несмотря на высокую стоимость обучения.
True, the education system is different. The kindergarten system in Russian-speaking countries, in my opinion, is fantastic. It is one of many things in Russian-speaking countries that is better than in England. That's one of the things that I would change. But certainly no. Private education is very expensive. And children normally do not go to any form of school before they are 5 years old.
Британская литература лучшая в мире.
British literature is supposedly the best in the world. But when you are at school and you are faced with a William Shakespeare book, it is boring. It's something you don't want to study. I believe that children should be given something to enjoy, to stimulate them, to make them want to read books. If I was teaching in an English school now, I would say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would collect in all the William Shakespeare books, put them in the bottom of a cupboard, and I would give all the children a Harry Potter book. And we would read Harry Potter together. Better to read something that you enjoy than something that was written 100 years ago and is boring.
Самым популярным литературным жанром в Британии является фэнтези – сказочная фантастика. За первые сутки после выхода в свет последней книги о Гарри Поттере было продано около 2 миллионов экземпляров. Большинство жителей Британии предпочитают читать не книги, а газеты. Около 40% британцев за всю свою жизнь не прочитали ни одной книги.
Harry Potter is not the best legacy of modern English literature. It is, however, the best thing that has happened to turn children onto books. Before, it was difficult to get children to read books. You could find some that would grab their interest. They would read a book and then that reading process would be gone. But Harry Potter has inspired children. They read one book and they are waiting. They are looking at the diary. Children are queuing up to buy the next episode when the book is released. And that has been a great thing for getting children to read books.
Британский рок лучший в мире.
That's not a comment that I would make. I think there is a myth that British music is the best, but there is good music from everywhere. If I was going tomorrow to a music store, what would I be buying? Right at this moment, I'd be buying the latest Glucosa CD. So it would not be... That's the highest thing on my shopping list at the moment. My daughter loves the music, and we turn when it comes on the television, we turn it up and we both sing and stamp our feet. So I think Russian music is very underestimated, but you never hear it in England, you never hear it in America.
В свободное время англичане предпочитают пить пиво и смотреть футбол.
Football is very popular. Very popular. Beer, yes, Englishmen enjoy beer. Perhaps a little too much, some of them. But generally speaking, we are not a big drinking country. To give you an example, I think I am very, very typical. But I can go 2 weeks, a month, and not even think about having a beer or a glass of wine. It just doesn't bother me.
Британцы любят проводить время в ночных клубах.
That's a popular belief. A popular belief. I can say that I worked in nightclubs at least once or twice every week as a DJ for nearly 7 years. I even remember the last day that I worked in a nightclub. Only twice in all that time can I say I saw, and in one occasion I only smelt. I didn't actually see it, but did I know that there were drugs actually in the nightclub?
Большинство британцев страдают ксенофобией.
The British have perhaps an unwelcoming view of foreigners. Little England looks at the rest of the world and thinks, do we really want to be like them? And we think, maybe not. So perhaps the best way is to keep them at arm's length. So perhaps we are a little xenophobic, I think is the word. We like to keep ourselves to ourselves. But it seems to work for us.
Ксенофобия, в переводе с греческого «нетерпимость ко всему чужому, незнакомому и непривычному», свойственна большинству британцев. Однако это не мешает им быть гостеприимными и доброжелательными по отношению к иностранцам. Британцы не любят путешествовать.
I think it's not that the British do not like travelling. They cannot see a good reason to travel. My parents, for instance, did not leave Britain until certainly they were 50 years old. We had package holidays, very inexpensive holidays to places like Spain and France. But my parents cannot see the reason to go to a country where they don't speak English, where the food is different, where the weather is either too hot or too cold. And most people in England, I would imagine half the people in England do not have a passport. There is no requirement by law for you to have a passport. You do not need a passport unless you are going to another country. And even now, if you want to travel within the European Union, if you have a driver's license with a photo card, you can use that. So most people now see little reason for traveling or having a passport. Why go to a country where the food is bad, where they can't speak English, where the weather's too hot, the weather's too cold, when you can stay at home and enjoy yourself? That's how English people think.
Британцы любят путешествовать. После окончания учебы они обычно несколько месяцев посвящают путешествиям. Самые популярные места – Вьетнам, Камбоджа, Таиланд, Малайзия, Индия, Непал. По родной стране англичане предпочитают совершать туристические походы, во время которых человек лишен самых элементарных удобств. Таким образом, они доказывают свою стойкость в борьбе с силами природы. Британцы считают свою страну лучшей в мире.
And why would they not think this? I think we do believe this. We do believe this, surely because we cannot see, when we look at the rest of the world, another country that has gone so long without major political problems, major war problems, major social problems. We cannot see another example in the world. Name me a country, and you can think of the problems. The French have had the French Revolution. They chopped off the kings and queens' heads. Germany has tried to rule the world, caused wars, had problems. Russia has had its revolution. Wherever we look in the world, we cannot see consistency. Whereas little old United Kingdom, Great Britain, we're still the same place on the map, we're still the same people, we still have the same system. So I guess, yes, we do think we have the best system. Perhaps not the best people, but the best system.
Жизнь в Британии очень дорогая.
This is true. This is true. It is not easy for people to make comparisons. One of the sad things I find when I'm talking to people in Russian language speaking countries is they think life is so much better in America, they think life is so much better in England and other countries. The truth is, it's not. You are fooling yourself if you believe that life is better. You will get paid 10 times the wages that you get paid here, which is great. The only problem is everything costs 10 times as much. If you leave whichever part of the Russian-speaking world you live in and move to an English-speaking part of the world, be it America or England, all you are going to do is trade one set of day-to-day problems for another set of day-to-day problems. Life isn't so much better. I know when you see the television, they show good houses, they show nice cars. Television, unfortunately, has a bad habit of telling lies. There are more people living in bad housing in America and England than there are living in good. But it's not something that's shown in all the TV programs. I think it's time for me to take off my policeman's hat, if I can, and say goodbye to you. And I hope I will see you again sometime.
Be shy. I just wanna talk to you. you.